bike. Hello everyone, it is Adam here. Can I lean back here? This peg's in the way. We're with the 701 LR today. I just need a bike prop in the background. You know how it is. Wow. This video is intended to just be like me testing some new equipment that I'm recording on right now, and not necessarily intended to, there's content obviously, but thank you for watching. So 2 days from now, I'm going to hop on a plane to Oregon and begin just a journey, just a crazy, wild journey. And I've been looking forward to this trip for a year, at least. And I was reading on the internet last night. Someone asked a question and said they just had a kid, and they were going to sell their motorcycle, and they asked other people if they'd done the same thing when they had a kid, and all but like 2 people said yeah. And it tracks really well with what I experienced at rallies when I talk to people and they say that they're just getting back into riding after their kids graduated from college, and they're in their 50s and 60s. They took 20 years off. And I see it over and over again. I very rarely meet someone who kept their bike and continued to ride after having kids. And I think I wouldn't be human, or at least, well, I'd be human, but I'd be an asshole if I said that I do carry with me a little bit of guilt. Not about continuing to ride, but about this trip in particular. Heather left 2 days ago for New Hampshire. We have a house up there, so she'll be at the lake house all summer, hanging out with her family and just doing stuff with the baby. And I'm going to Oregon to do this wild trip, multi-week trip. And I feel guilty about it because Matilda's like not even 7 months old, and I'll be gone for 4 or 5 weeks of her life, over 10% of her life so far. And no, she's not going to remember this. And this was Heather's idea. Heather pushed me to do this. She told me a year ago, you have all this time off coming up. Why don't you go take a trip, especially on the West Coast, that you've always wanted to do. And I appreciate her for just being who she is, being a writer, being a great person, being a great mom. But it doesn't make me feel like I deserve to abandon my family for a few weeks into this trip on a brand new $30,000 motorcycle to go to places where there are bears and strange animals and no water and no cell phone service, and ride around in the woods for a month by myself and leave my newborn at home. And I'm not looking for you all to be like, dude, it's fine, do it. I wish I had done it. I'm not looking for that. I'm just sharing that it's not lost on me that you all are going to see a month of videos where I am I'm a new father who's abandoned my family, pushed by my own wife, but it's still anyway. New setup. The goal, the aim of this trip, I don't know if I'm going to do it well or not. I have no idea. For the first time ever, I've installed some apps on my iPhone that allow you to edit video. I've never done that before. And I've also published my first short video. And I don't know. I feel like it's going to be 4 or 5 weeks of just crappy short videos. And I don't feel like my art is going to be like out on camera for you all, like it normally would be. But I have this fancy new travel tripod. I'm super excited about it. Packs up really small, super small. And I have finally, after 1,600 videos, I've been publishing to YouTube since 2005. So after 19 years and 1,600 videos, and more than one comment saying to me, Adam, please, we're begging you, get a lavalier or external mic. Please, we're so tired of having you walk away from the camera and the audio dims out and we can't hear you're saying, or you're yelling from across the room, please. And especially since I feel like a jackass now. It's all about priorities and how you spend your money, but when I started the R1250 build series, that was like 50 or 60 videos, 2 months of videos. And the funny thing is, I have this carbon fiber Manfrotto tripod. I have a Canon R5 with all these fantastically wonderful like lenses from like f1.2 to f2.8, ultra zoom, wide angle 16 millimeter lenses. And I did this whole bike video on an iPhone with the built-in microphone. And in post-production, in the editing suite, was like, oh my God, I'm trying to boost audio that doesn't even exist. Like I'm raising the levels like crazy just to be able to hear myself talk when I'm mastering these videos for you all to watch. And I'm like, on my TV, I master my videos on my television because that's how I watch YouTube. I watch YouTube on a 4K 70-inch television, and that's how you should watch YouTube. You should also have premium so you don't have ads. And so people that watch my videos on mobile phones, I'm not optimizing for phones. I don't watch any videos on phones. And so I'm watching this stuff back on my TV, and I'm like, I keep getting the volume higher and higher. I'm like, oh man, people are going to be on these tiny phones, these tiny speakers, and they can't hear what I'm saying. So after 19 years, I finally have a microphone that I wear, and I believe that it's going to really unlock a lot for this trip. I'm not going to be making cooking videos or stuff like that, but like at night, if I happen to be able to successfully start a fire, I'm sitting by the fire, I can now throw on like an f1.2 lens, really open it up wide open, set it 10 feet from me or 5 feet from me, and record myself by the fire. And I can also like walk to my bike to get something. I'm still in frame, but I can also still talk to you. What a superpower I've just unlocked for myself to be able to record these videos and have you actually hear what I'm saying. So, wow. Yeah. And it also records to iPhone too. So if I'm doing some iPhone shots, I'm going to try to get in the habit of like, if I'm not holding the phone directly in front of my mouth, or if it's windy, I'm going to throw this on and it's going to be in my pocket. I have a little carrying case for this. It's going to be in my pocket, in my jacket. Throw this on. It's supposed to auto pair to the phone and you'll get much better audio. And really for me, is the editor, more consistent audio. Like I'll actually be able to like look at the levels and it'll be very much even. I've known these have existed for 10 years. I just didn't buy one. So yeah, I'm bringing the Canon R5 with me. I also have a tripod. This tripod's so cool. You'll see it in a couple of videos featured. I've wanted one for 6 years of this size, and I finally got one, so I'm super stoked. I also have the mobile phone gimbal that I can use for steady shots. I'll have the drone with me and the Insta360 with me. And so I'm going to try to do daily shorts, 1 minute long videos, just for like my mental health. I'm probably going to get like 5 or 6 of them queued up and then have them scheduled out. And so if I don't get to upload one for a couple of days because there's no cell phone service, I won't miss a deadline. I can still have dailies going out. So there'll be a few days delayed. Couple other quick things, real quick. I am going to Redmond, Oregon. This is for the first few days of my trip, will be the National BMW Rally. Should be like 3,000 to 5,000 people there. So excited. Not my first time to Oregon, but my first time to an MOA rally in Oregon. I have so many rides planned. I'm so excited to ride in Oregon. I know I can't see the whole state, but I'm just from like sand to deserts to hot springs to mountains, just wow, what an amazing trip this is going to be. I'm going to see all of my long-lost friends that I haven't seen in a year. We have new board members to elect. Oh, yeah. Wow. I never made a campaign video saying, please vote for me. I'm rerunning for the MOA board. And if you're not an MOA member, please let me know. Send me an email because I'll buy you a first-year membership on me. But I was elected to the board in 2021, and I sought re-election this year in 2024, and was re-elected for another 3-year term. At this moment, I'm vice president of the board as of last year, and officer elections happen at the rally. I'll probably remain an officer. I'm not sure which one though. I have a kid, and so it's not just 1 hour a month. It's 10 hours a month of time on the board as a volunteer. It's not a paid position. There's a lot of really cool initiatives that I am really interested in. And Friday at the Oregon rally, I'll be leading a seminar talking about one of those initiatives, and I hope you'll get to join. It's called What Can the MOA Do for Charter Clubs? A lot, actually, and I can't wait. Also, one of our board members was instrumental in the recent change to enable motorcycle filtering in Minnesota. I'm so proud of Phil for being a part of that movement, and I'm looking at some of the new board members who got elected to the board, and I'm just so excited. There's so much energy, there's so much enthusiasm, there's so much just excitement for folks that are just volunteers that love motorcycling and love this community. And I don't know if I'll seek re-election a third time. I don't know that or not. By the time I get to be trying to be re-elected again, Matilda will be almost 4 years old. I'll be focused on getting her in school and camping with her and traveling with her. And so I don't know if I will be able to have the time to do a third term on the board. We'll see. The GS is currently on a trailer. It's just left South Carolina as of yesterday, and it's heading west to Oregon. I have a tracker on it, obviously. And I am so excited. I'm so thrilled for this trip. I'm going to go inside in a few minutes and go to the cafe, and I'm going to, make my PowerPoint presentation for the rally presentation seminar, but I'm also going to finish my Garmin Basecamp GPX design. The what I'm working with now is, I think I showed you all a design of it a couple of months ago as a live stream. What I'm working with now is taking risk into account. And so I'll leave Oregon. Instead of going straight north, I'm actually going to go to the start of the Oregon BDR. And so it's 3 hours southeast to go to the start of the Oregon BDR, do the entire Oregon BDR, Washington BDR. And then from there, the question will be, do I go to Banff, Calgary area and hang out for a day or two? Or do I continue north to Dawson? And from Dawson, do I continue north to Prudhoe Bay or north to Tuck? And if I go to Calgary, do I go south to Glacier and from there cut over to the Idaho BDR? Or do I cut over to the Wyoming BDR? Or do I start Continental Divide south to Colorado and hop on the TAT home? So what I'm going to do, I'm creating like 6 different GPX files. The reason being that we're entering fire season on the West Coast and in Canada. They've already started. As well as inclement weather, drought, all kinds of stuff can happen. And so what I'm doing is I'm creating like a choose your own adventure option list. So when I finish the Washington BDR, if the next 7 days in Dawson City are going to be completely just rained out, I can go to Calgary. If the next 7 days after in Dawson City and Prudhoe Bay or Tuck are going to be rained out or snowing for some reason, or there are fires and I don't do well with smoke. I get nosebleeds and there's smoky weather. And so if that's bad, I'll may go to Dawson City and not go on to Arctic Circle. And same thing goes for like Wyoming and Idaho BDRs. Same thing goes for Continental Divide, south to Mexico. If that's super hot, humid, if there's fires, then I can just hop on the TAT and go back east to North Carolina or to New Hampshire. And so I have a bunch of options. So basically think, 4 to 6 weeks of time. And in that time, the weather and the fires and just how I'm feeling, I might like break a leg or something, and that it could happen. And so I want to make sure that I'm equipped to be able to do that. So today I'm going to be creating a bunch of Basecamp GPX files for myself. When I'm done with my trip, what then? Well, I haven't told you guys this yet, I have 12 weeks off work. And that's a perk. And I think one thing that I'm seeing inside of some companies, especially tech companies, and if you don't work in the technology business, there's a lot of shit going on in technology that's worth criticizing and scrutinizing and regulating. But what has happened in the technology business is the earnings per employee is incredibly high. There was a stat yesterday that OpenAI, that's responsible for the ChatGPT system, is earning something like $100 million per employee right now. And my company isn't like that, but the knowledge work is it is taxing. We work hard, but a lot of what I'm seeing in our industry is the folks in charge are trying their best to create kind of that utopia that, what can we do for our employees that are highly skilled, that are offering extreme amounts of value and creating business value and shareholder value. And so when every employee is earning, making $5 to $20 million per year for the company, I've seen a lot of companies now starting to get into sabbaticals. And sabbatical is not a new concept, but like basically 5 years of tenure, they give you 3 months of paid time off. Average tech worker tenure at companies is about 18 to 24 months. And so when someone is at your company for 5 years and you've paid them on average $250,000 a year, but they've earned for you $50 million in revenue, then you look out for them by saying, hey, you've been here for 5 years, take a sabbatical. And so my company doesn't have sabbaticals yet, but they do have incredibly generous leave packages for certain instances. And so I have 12 weeks off. And so after this trip, I'll be missing Heather's birthday on this trip. Her birthday's in 3 weeks. But when I get back, I'm going to go to New Hampshire. Now, do I load the 701 and the GS up in the Ram, head north, and take this on some single track and make some wonderful videos for you guys? Or do I ride the GS up and just leave it as is and take it up to New Hampshire and just ride that and we use Heather's Tiguan the whole trip? Or do I just load the GS up? I don't know yet. We'll see how my butt feels. I might ride directly from Colorado or New Mexico straight up to New Hampshire on the GS. I might come back to North Carolina and load up. We'll see. But what I'm trying to say is there will be more videos after this trip in New Hampshire because other than studying for 2 more certifications that I'm taking, I won't be working until Labor Day. And so plenty of opportunity to make more great videos for you guys. Let's just pause for a second. This last thing I'll add, and this usually would have been a bike video, by the way. A couple more things. I just had the clutch slave cylinder gasket as well as the O-ring replaced on the 701. It's been a very small leak for a while, and it's not what you think as far as the OEM issue. I actually replaced this with the Recluse clutch slave cylinder at 0 miles, but it was still leaking after 3 years of ownership. And so pulled that off. The gasket was torn. The O-ring had a little chip in it. And so I replaced those and no more leaks. It's all back to good. I've also started getting some offers for the LR, random emails from folks being like, will you take 15 grand for it? And I'm like, no, I love this bike. I could sell it for 15 grand and buy a brand new 701, but I love the LR. It's a nice bike. Last thing is, so work stuff. Everything's going great at Credit Karma. I love working there. It is, I miss a lot about TomTom, but I would miss Credit Karma more if I were to leave. And as a family, as a dad, as a family unit, make sure the audio is still coming in here. Yeah, I am very responsible for my family's just place in the world, and so eventually we're going to be back in New Hampshire. Is that going to be in a year, 2 years? I don't know. And my work knows this. They don't allow remote work, but if they did, if they said tomorrow, Adam, you don't have to come into the office anymore, I would be back in New Hampshire in 4 weeks, for sure. There's nothing keeping us in Charlotte, and I think I would miss some parts of Charlotte, but our home is definitely New Hampshire, Vermont area. So how long that'll be, I don't know. But Credit Karma has had, I've talked about this before, just really insane benefits. Again, back to the tech worker thing. And so they give you $5,000 a year for professional development. I started that journey in August with getting my my PMP certification after being a project manager for 15 years. I followed it up with my PGMP, which is the next level up. And just to give you a point of reference, if you're in project management, there are 500,000 PMPs in the U.S. There are 1,300 PGMPs in the U.S. And so getting that requires like 10 years of experience, a panel review, a long examination process, and a really, really hard test. So I got that in December, followed up with my Certified Scrum Master and Professional Scrum Master certifications. Then I got my Agile Certified Practitioner certification, and now I'm studying for my Risk Management Professional and my Professional Business Analyst certifications, which are going to be quite hard because those are not really my strong areas. And so I'll be studying those on this trip every night, reading books, PDFs that I've downloaded, watching audiobooks or Udemy or e-learning videos throughout the trip, and then I'll take those in August, and I hope that I'll pass those exams. And then I'll be done with certs for all. Oh, I also got my Lean Six Sigma yellow belt. I might go for black belt this coming winter, or master black belt, but that's a really, really hard. Master black belt requires like a 30-page dissertation using all Lean principles and Six Sigma principles with a panel review, and requires having your black belt first. Hard stuff, but I'm trying to leverage Credit Karma's benefits package in the most way possible. I also yesterday, very last thing I'll mention, I also just yesterday had a liver scare, and I'm still going through it. I almost canceled my trip. So starting a year ago, my bilirubin levels in my liver started going up. Adults should be 0.2 to 1.0 milligrams per liter, and I was at 1 for all of 2023. And then by December it was creeping up to 1.2 milligrams, and then by April it was 1.6, by May it was 1.9, and now in June it's 2.1. So I technically have jaundice. But all of my other hemoglobin levels, liver enzymes, every other thing they've tested for that's blood and urine, totally baseline. Not high, not low, nothing out of whack, none of this, just totally even keel. And so that did kick off a liver ultrasound, which I took yesterday. Got that back. They also included, no kidney stones, no pancreas issues, and then my liver is fine. I had no gallbladder because my gallbladder was taken out 2 years ago. And so my bilirubin levels are still high. I've gone off all my supplements. I've gone off any medications, and I'm just going to eat healthy for 4 weeks. My doctor said in 4 weeks, get a lab done wherever I'm located, and look at my levels. If they haven't gone up any higher, great. If they've gone up even higher, and I'm starting to have nausea and vomiting, then I should do something about it. And so, yeah, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm not cured. All I know is I don't have cancer or cirrhosis or any of the other problems in the liver. My nutritionist guessed that it could be anemia from the losing 70 pounds of fat. Maybe. I've lost a lot the past 9 months. But if it's not that, then what? And if it is anemia, I'd have other stuff that was off as well in my metrics, my stats. So I don't know. I'm at a total loss. I'm going on the trail. I've been cleared to travel. I'm only 37 years old, and I was worried that drinking or poor diet has caused my liver to age, but liver's fine. It's just the bilirubin levels that are high. And, I think the highest thing goes 8, but I'll be in the hospital by like 4 or 5. And so I have wonderful insurance. Again, Credit Karma, I don't know if you're a small business owner, but Credit Karma spends about 30 grand per year per employee. And my out of pocket is like 120 per pay period. And there's no deductible or, out of pocket max or anything. It's all just basically copays. And so labs are free. And so I think I'll just, go to Ecolab or whatever it is, lab whatever, and just get tests throughout my trip, even weekly. I don't want to leave the U.S. and go north into Canada not knowing that my bilirubin levels have hit 4 or 5. And so I'm going to keep doing labs, I think, throughout this trip. So if you have any advice, maybe I'll create an account on one of those national chains for labs and just have appointments with them and stop every week and get my blood work done. Very last thing about this trip. We're at 27 minutes. This should be a podcast, I guess. I am really nervous. Longest trip I've ever done is 2 weeks. 1 day at a time. But I'm going to be supporting myself completely. And I don't have a budget. I don't know what it's going to cost. I'm going to pay the bills off when I get home, but I don't know what this cruise trip's going to cost me. I don't know what issues I'm going to have. I don't know, what I'm going to see. I don't watch YouTube videos of motorcycle rides, so I don't know what I'm going to see. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what to expect. I just have some GPX files and a bike and a credit card. And as a career project manager, since I was in middle school, I've been a project manager. It's just my mindset. I don't do well with the unknown. So let's see how it goes. I did mention I'll be doing shorts, but I'll do longer form videos when I get home too. So that's not going to be just short videos. It'll be more epic stuff. I'm excited, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Ride safe. Have a great summer. I'm going to have a summer. I don't know if it's going to be a great one, but I'm going to spend the whole summer from basically Memorial Day to Labor Day on my bike or with my family, and I'm so excited about it. Very last thing. I said I'll be in New Hampshire the rest of the summer. That's a lie. So to August 14th, I think, August 15th, Heather and I have, I've been hoarding credit card miles for years, like 10 years. So we have something like 2 million miles across like Marriott, Hilton, Delta, United, American, and like 700,000 Amex membership rewards points. So I had a coworker that was like, dude, they're like a depreciating asset. You should just use them. Stop hoarding your miles. And so we booked a trip for the first time using miles. We're doing business class from Boston to Charles de Gaulle in Paris. And then from there, we're renting a car. And we're doing 7 countries in 8 days. So we're doing France, I'm going to get this wrong, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Austria, Germany, Netherlands, and Belgium. Yeah, so it's 7 countries in like 8 days. We're going to be doing that, and I'm excited. It's going to be Matilda's first. She'll be doing Canada in like June, July, but it's her first international trip other than Canada. Her passport comes today. We're so excited. It's going to be all with points. I think we're only using like 500,000 points total. So not even like dipping into our hoard, our bank account of points. But I had like 3 85,000 night Marriott certificates and 1 Hilton free night certificate. So I've got 4 nights free. Then we'll do some points for that, for the rest of the stuff. We've been to Champagne region a lot as tourists. We're doing a new village, 2 new villages in Champagne. I can't remember what they are, but 2 villages we haven't been to before in the Champagne region. We're also doing a village in Burgundy. And 1 more French wine growing region I've never heard of before. That's up the northeast corner near the German border. But we're just so excited. So we'll do an 8-day Euro trip before we come back to the States. And then I'll have 1 more week off before I return to work. I'm so stoked. I'm so excited. That's the last thing I'll share with you guys. Let me go start the 701, get loaded up, go to the cafe for some video editing and some Basecamp editing. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. Ride safe. Bye. Is autofocus? I also shaved my head. Look at that. Full space monkey.